McGregor fight, Adesanya versus Strickland or Adesanya versus du Plessis? And, I think that you guys should probably strap in, because I have a feeling over the course of now until, is it the 19th of January? Now until Strickland versus du Plessis, I have a feeling we're going to revisit this a number of times. Now, make no mistake, this fight was rushed to the market. It was rushed to the market for a reason. And let's be clear, we don't know what that reason is. We're left to guess. Strickland versus du Plessis is the next fight. It's the right fight. It's the fight the worlds want to see. Said nobody ever. So, all of that has changed. I understand now. They got a real hot hand. But nobody was discussing that fight. And for very good reason. For very, very good reason. Strickland already had an opponent. In fact, he had two. He had Adesanya anytime Adesanya wanted to throw that golden ticket down. But we also had a number one contenders match for Strickland's belt, and that was won by Khamzat Chimaev. So there would be no reason to discuss du Plessis. Now, I bring that to you, and it is so important that you understand that detail, because the winner of this fight versus Izzy is the plan, but plans change fast. So the question becomes, whose plan was it? Because there's nothing different in a fight relationship or a business relationship or a personal relationship. Whoever cares more is weaker. So I'm just asking you, whose idea was it? Who really wants that fight? Because you're going to have two very different approaches. Okay, let's say that it's Izzy that wants the fight. I don't believe that's true, by the way. But I would like to make a point for you, and I know you'll understand it best if we take it from the perspective that Izzy really wants the fight. It is incumbent that Izzy be there. It is wildly incumbent that Israel Adesanya insert himself, no matter how big of a star he is. Strickland and du Plessis went from nothing. Nobody wanted to see this fight. Not one. I actually brought this point to you a few weeks ago, and I had this guy leave me a comment. Chael, you don't know what we want. We've all wanted to see this fight. Like, no, you didn't. That's not true. A simple Google search with a pre-date of the fight being announced will tell you that it was never discussed. You did not want to see it. And it's important that you understand that, because it's now the hottest fight that's currently signed. If you, the audience, had your choice between seeing Jon Jones and Stipe or Strickland versus du Plessis, now it wouldn't matter the Jones, it wouldn't matter any of them. The number one fight that is currently signed right now, if it was McGregor Chandler or you could see du Plessis Strickland, the number one fight that you want to see that's signed is du Plessis and Strickland. And why do I keep making that point? Why do I keep going back to that? Because look at what they did. They came from nothing, and they did it in two spots. You'll get the dum-dums that just can't open their eyes and see what's going on here, right? That this is about what you can do, and it's not about what you can say. Yeah, I let my fighting speak for itself. Okay, there was a fight that you didn't want to see. Neither guy fought again. Neither guy threw a punch again, and it's now the fight that you want to see most. So, when I'm drilling this home for you and getting you to understand the concept, there is a bit of a dialogue that the winner draws into Adesanya, and there's a bit of a dialogue that Adesanya and Chimaev are going to have to battle out in the media a little bit, because Chimaev has also earned number one contenders, right? You get this little bit of a battle, and the one thing that everybody is missing, the one thing, is a rematch between du Plessis and Strickland. And if you understand how far they have come from being a fight that you never cared about, never asked for, never wanted, to carrying an entire pay-per-view, you don't know who the co-main event is that night. You don't know who the headline of the prelims is. You don't know who's opening the card. You don't know anybody part of that event. You only know that main event. And it's a really big deal that you understand how far they have come in how short of a period of time. Because if Israel Adesanya is not there that night, and this fight between Strickland and du Plessis turns out to have anything on it, if it's a great fight, they will now be a contender to rematch. If it is a controversial fight, they will rematch. If it is an upset, if du Plessis takes the belt and Strickland takes a microphone, they could rebuild 300 right there that night, unless Izzy is there. Then they won't have the opportunity. They will cut right to Izzy. Izzy will come in, he will build a promo, and off you go. And the people that say, I'm going to let my fighting speak for itself, will once again be faced to see that's the least important thing. So, it's a big thing to keep your eye on. I mean, if they were to rematch these two guys, right? If du Plessis and Strickland, which was nothing and now is huge, turns out to be rematch worthy, what looks like Adesanya and Chimaev don't have to fight it out in the media. They would both be open and they could just fight, figure it out that way.